Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abhay and we are covering the Python codes and this is the chapter 3. In the last video, we learned how we can take inputs in a Python like user age, username and address and we print that in the screen. In this video, we will cover a very important topic in Python, that is variable and data type. So let's start and see what is variable. So variable are like containers or boxes in your computer memory where you can store the data. If you want to store someone's age, name or a salary, you can use variables. So basically in any of the programming language, if you want to store some data, then you need to create a variable and in that variable you can assign the value. That variable we can create in the language, in any of the language, we will see in the Python. But when we assign the value, it is used somewhere in the computer memory. There are some rules when we are creating the variable. So like there are some rules regarding the name. So variable name cannot start with a number. So like whenever we are creating the variable, we can't create a variable with the number in the starting. Example, one name is invalid, but name one is a valid. So number can come after or maybe in between, but we can't start the variable with the number. Then they can contain letters, numbers and underscores. Variables name are case sensitive. Example, name and name are different. So capital, if we have two names in which like one name have capital N and in the other name the N is small. So they both are treated as a different in the Python. Let's see how we can create the variables in the Python. So let's see how we can create the variables in a Python. If you remember in the last video, we take the input from the user, like user age, username. So we are doing the same thing. Okay, in that video as well, I created the variable, but I didn't explain to you like what is this variable mean. So in this video, I will explain you what is variable. Okay, so let me take the same example. This was the code which we saw in the last video. There what we did the input from the user and we stored in somewhere. Okay, like when user input give the input, we store in the name, then we store in the age, then we store in the address. So these name, age, address, these are nothing but the variable. You can also simply define like this as well, like name is equals to something Abhay, then age 28. You can write it like that way as well. Okay, in previous example I take the input from the user, but directly in the code as well you can write like this, name, age, then you can write something like salary. Okay, maybe 20,000. Okay, then you can write something like whether is a student or not as a student. So there like we can assign some true and false. Okay, I will tell you like what is this true and false and what is this data type. Okay, but for now like we can create variables like this and we can assign some value. Value can be anything. It can be a character, a string, it can be a number, it can be a true or false. Okay, let's print these values. We can also print the variables. Print age, then we can print the salary of a person, then let's print is a student. Let's run it and see what we will get in the output. Okay, you see these four values I am getting right now. So what we did, instead of directly printing the name, I stored this name in the variable, then I print the variable. Okay, and here I added the underscore. Okay, so this is a valid variable. Okay, and if I what if I create a variable like this, one, then my variable here, suppose I assign some value like testing. Okay, so this is an invalid variable. What if I print this? Okay, this time like the code will give the error. Let me save this and let me run. invalid decimal iteration. So it is giving the syntax error because this is not correct. But instead of this, if I remove the number from starting and if I add the number in the last, it can be in between as well, okay, but I'm keeping it in the last for now. And if I add the one here and I remove from the starting, let me save and let me run. You see the value is coming. So like whenever we are creating the variables in the Python, like it is very easy to create variables, okay, like we don't need to think about anything. We just need to write some name and we need to assign some value. Okay, name can be anything. It is totally dependent on you, like whatever the name you want to give, you can give. Okay, just these rules we need to follow. The number can't come in the starting, and if here like I have the small n in the name, but if I print like this with the capital N, this will also give the error. Okay, so it's kind of a case sensitive. Okay, if you see name is not defined, because if I declare with the small n, I should always keep the small n. Let's understand what is this data type in a Python. So in other languages, like in other programming languages, like we need to declare the data type. Okay, but in the Python, like we don't need to declare the data type, but still like we have the data type in a Python, and some of the basic data types are integer, okay, that we denote with the int, float, string, and boolean. In the integer, we can store the numbers, okay, whether that number is a negative or any number you can think of. It can be stored in an int variable. Okay, so variable is just storing the data, but its type can be vary. Okay, it can be a numeric data type, it can be a decimal data type, it can be a string data type, it can be a boolean. Boolean means it can store only the true or false. String means it can store the string or a text or a character, any alphabet in our dictionary. It can store in the string data type. In our example, let me show you the example again. In our example, if I ask you like what is the data type of this name is equals to Abhay. Okay, so if I ask the data type of this name, then it is a string data type because it is containing the value of a string. In other programming language, like we need to declare the data type as well when we are creating the variable. Let me show you the one example. Like if I want to create a variable in which I want to store the age. Okay, suppose in the C language, what I need to do, I need to separately define the type like integer, then age, then value. Like that way in the C language, I need to declare the data type as well. But in the Python, if you see, we don't need to define the data type in the variable. We can directly create variable and we can assign the value, because in the Python it is automatically detecting the data type. Okay, if it is a 28 means it's a number. Okay, so then this age will be integer or a numeric. Okay, if we assign some value to like this string, then this data type of a name by default, like it will become the string. And how we can check like what is the data type of these variables? We have one method, like suppose this is the name. Okay, but I want to check what is the data type of this. So what I can do, type of, or maybe it's only a type. Okay, so you can write like this, type of name. So if you print this one, what it will give you? It will give you the data type of a name. Okay, if you see, the data type of a name is a str that we saw in our PPT. That means like it is a string data type. Let me print other as well. What is the type of this age? Then let's see what is the type of salary. And let's see what is the type of is student. Let me remove this for now, no need of this. Let me save and let me rerun. Okay, if you see, the first name is a string type, then age and salary, they both are kind of an integer data type, int data type. Okay, and this last variable is student is a boolean data type, because like we assign the true value. It can be a false, we can also write it down as a false. Okay, but it is a boolean. Okay, so 2 points you need to remember here in the Python. First, whenever we are creating the variable, we don't need to define the data type. Second, when we are assigning the value to variable, okay, then in the Python it automatically detects the type. For example, if I assign the 28 to any variable, it automatically detect that this data type is an integer. Okay, so like that way you can create variables and you can check their types. This type statement, this is already defined in the Python. There are other data types in the Python. We have a list for all these data types, like we call these data types as a collection data types. We have list, tuple, set, dictionary. In the list, what we can do, we can store the multiple items. Okay, for example, 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 in the bracket. Okay, so it's a list, because list by English meaning list can contain multiple items. So even in the example as well, I am storing the multiple values, not just the single value. So that's what we call the list. The same structure has the tuple. Okay, the tuple has the same structure as a list, but in the list we can add more items like 1 2 3 4. But in the tuple, like we can't change the item, like we can't add more items, or we can't delete any items. We will see these data types in upcoming videos in details, like how we can create this data type, how we can create the list, how we can create the tuple, and what operations we can do on these data types, how we can add more items in the list, how we can remove some items in a list, how we can delete the tuple. Okay, these all the operation we will see in upcoming videos. Here I am just giving you overview, like what is these data types. Even we have the set data type. If you remember in the mathematics, we have the set, and the property of a set is like it always keep the unique value. Okay, so even here as well, we have the set data type. There we store the unordered data but unique items. Okay, like 1 2 3. So I can't add one more item as a 2. So in this collection, it always keep the unique items. Then we have dictionary. Dictionary is kind of in real time, real life. We have the dictionary there, like we have some key value pairs. Okay, key, and then we have corresponding values even in our dictionaries, right? So in the similar way, we have dictionary data type in a Python. There we can store the data in format of dictionary. For example, with the curly braces, I can create key and value. Key is the name, then my value is away, and the age is key, then the value is 25. So this starting curly braces, then it is ending with the curly braces. So this whole structure considered as a dictionary. This for all these we will see in upcoming video, how to create this and all. For now, that's all about the collection data types. So that was all about the variables and data types in a Python. If you have any doubt, you can comment on this video, or you can ping me on my Instagram. In this video, we saw how to create variables, assign values, and we understood basic and collection data types like integer, string, boolean, list, tuple, set, dictionary. These are the foundations of the Python, and you will be using them in almost every program you write. Okay, so these are the basic things, and once you like start later, like when you're creating the project or you are creating the programs, then these are the smallest thing. Okay, so you don't need to worry about these things. In the next video, we will learn about arithmetic operations in a Python, like how to add two numbers, how to subtract, how to multiply, how to divide two numbers. Okay, so these are the basic built logic in any program. Okay, so we will learn arithmetic operations in the Python. If you want to learn the complete Python course, then stay with me and subscribe to my channel. You will get a regular videos, and I will teach you the entire Python basic course in just 1 month. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment on this video, or you can ping me on Instagram. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.